Good evening. I'm starting this a bit late. Uh, I kind of forgot to pull this up real quick. So let me pull this up. We can jump into the code. I think this was chapter 8. That's done. Chapter 9. That's done. Chapter 10. That's done. All the enemies done. Let's jump to the code. Actually, hold on. Let's do a demo. Here's the app. This is pretty cool. Basically, you have these meals here. Image fades in. We can go over here to filters. Turn on and off filters. If you turn on and off filters, change what actually gets showed. We can go over here to Asian, look at the stuff, and then it's gonna basically change what we see. It's pretty simple. We can, if we find one that lets us do it, we can take this, we can favorite it. It has a little spinning animation. This one's set to I think 0.8 right now. I'll show that in a minute. Little spinning animation. This is a scrollable widget. Should be, at least. Anyway, if it was long enough, it's scrollable. Going to our favorites. Favorites, we can unfavorite it, and it leaves. So, pretty simple app, all things considered. We have a bottom navigation bar. We got some things here. Each one of these is essentially linked to another screen, and that's pretty much it. All right, hopping into the code. Sorry, that's the one I was working on just now. Kind of forgot I had this due tonight, so we're going to knock it out real quick. Jumping into the code, we got a couple things here. Start off with demand.dart. Here's our theme data. This is the data for all of our stuff. We're running the app. The app is calling tab screen, so let's start a tab screen. Some of the screens. Here's tab screen. These are our constants, so this is like where we're setting our initial filters to, so we're going to set them all to false. Pretty much it. This is pretty fun. We got a couple things here. Allows us to select the page using the index. We got our navigators, so pushing and popping using our navigators is how we actually change screens. Where is it? There should be like a thing here that we use to kind of do the thing. I'm blanking. I'm tired. Here's our bottom navigation bar. We got our categories and our favorites. Little star icon that we animate somewhere in here. We have our scaffold messenger. We have, if it was added, set the meal as a favorite. Duration, 2 seconds. Here's our actual animated switcher. So this is what allows us to animate the star here. If we change this value, we can make the star change more drastically or less drastically, just kind of depending on what we want to do. So that's 0.8. Kind of, we can fiddle around with it, make it like 0.7 or 0.6. Basically, it just changes like the speed that the star. Let me hop reload. That the star spins around. So this is called an implicit animation because this is one that's given to us by Flutter. When we actually load into our screen here, the one that slides up, this is an explicit animation because we had to design it ourselves. So I'm just kind of showing the star now. Much more, it spins a lot more than it did before because I changed the setting here. Anyways, nothing we haven't really seen before over here though. A couple code changes here. What? We're supposed to do on surface. On surface. I'll come back and change it. This should be on surface. Anyways, couple things here. This is our stateless widget. We got a navigator here that allows us to push and pop, just based on the meal. Here's our basic default text of saying, hey, there's nothing here. Fix it. I have a lot of these on background things here because I was copying straight from the video. Ideally, in this version, though, it should be on surface. So I need to go back and actually change it. But when I do the code alongs, I make it on background just so I have identical code to what he has. But if you're actually trying to use this app and make it look good, this should be on surface like that. But for the sake of the things, I try to do exactly as they do. And I can just come back later and control find and change it, but for the sake of the video, it works. Here's the rotation transition. We got this code here. This is the filters tab, so this is what controls our actual filters over here. So essentially, we have our couple filters. We got gluten-free, our lactose-free, our vegetarian, and then the actual text that goes along with it. So when we go over here to filters, it's vegetarian, and then include vegetarian meals, what goes underneath it, and then just click here. So this is basically what this button is doing. So, excuse me, sorry. It's basically changing what's getting filtered. So every time we click the button, we're checking, hey, is it on or off? And then based on that, we're filtering whether or not we want our thingy. Whether we want to show those meals. Like if it's lactose free, don't show the lactose meal, but if it's not, show them. That's the filters, though. They're not super complex. We got our categories here. Sorry, that's code I left in there from before. Gotta remove my comment. This is our explicit animation, though, so this is the one that we actually created. So we have to call it dispose method here because otherwise it won't dispose it, and we'll have an issue where we have a memory leak, essentially. This one's cool, though, because this is the grid. 3:2 is the child aspect ratio. We can do 1.5, but 3:2 actually shows what it's doing. Coming down here, though, this is actually where we build our thingy. It's basically saying, hey, start on offset and then end not offset, and that allows it to actually slide up, and then it's based on the time that we set in our animation controller. So it's pretty cool. The other animation that we have set up in here is when we click on one of these. Well, let me try the filters here. All right. When we click on one of these images, it'll basically slide into this other one here. So see how it like slides up and in. This is another animation, but this one is thankfully given by Flutter. I think it's the hero one. Just allows us to slide in and out. Providers here are the kind of the new thing that got added. They're pretty interesting because essentially what they allow us to do is not have to pass methods through other methods. So the method soup that we had of like pass this one to this one, and then that one to that one, and then this one to this one, we basically get rid of that by using providers, which are provided by RiverPod. It essentially allows us to store the values that I'm like not good at it. It allows us to store the values that we need in a box essentially, and then take that box and pass it to another class. Is how my brain kind of wraps around it. I'm not very good at them yet, but allows us to essentially take what we need, and then instead of passing it through multiple classes, just pass it to the class that we need, and it saves us a lot of time in our import statements, and also makes it a lot more efficient and readable. So we have a couple different providers here. But yeah, other than that, we have our meals and our category data, and then finally our dummy data. That's pretty much it. It's not too complex. It's mostly things we've seen before. The animations are new, and then this RiverPod thing is new, where it's like we're just kind of taking this box and then passing it on to other classes, and it lets us not have to nest. Allows us to not have to nest stuff together to pass on a single function that we need. So it kind of just saves a lot of time. Anyway, I'm at 9 minutes. That's it. Bye.